Hello and welcome to a new video. I know it has been a long time since my last video, but it has a valid reason behind it, because I am working on a new game. The game you're seeing right now in the background, that's my game, Only Control. Okay, it's my new game. I've been working on it since half a year, maybe 3/4 of a year. Yeah, a bit of time. That's also the reason why I didn't make any videos, or just some very minimal videos like the Slow Roads one or the trailer for this game, because you have to make a trailer eventually, and the more trailers the better, I guess. Okay, but let's show you around a bit what this new game is about, what I've been working on for the past half year, and when it will be released, because that's very important, the release date. That's what you are here for. Okay, what is Only Control? Only Control is like an action game, parkour game, something like Ghost Runner and Mirror's Edge combined with a bit of Half-Life mixed in there. So it's just a big mishmash of games I like and games I enjoy and play a lot, like Ghost Runner 2 in the background. Don't mind the lag, it's because when you have Unreal Engine open and Unreal Engine game open at the same time, it's maybe a bit too much for a little gaming laptop like mine, but it's okay, just don't mind the lag. Also, I tried to record some Mirror's Edge footage right there. Like, how do we record Mirror's Edge footage? Because you can't go outside of full screen and then it goes back into full screen and it's just on your main display, but I want to play it on another display and I can't record on that display because I haven't set it up, and I don't know, man. How do you record Mirror's Edge game? Why is this so difficult? It's like a parkour game, a bit like you're seeing right now. You can do these parkour moves, but you also have the whole fighting moveset. You have a gun right here and right here. Yes, you can go third person and first person at any time you like. Yeah, you have the normal sword attack, this cool air attack here with slow-mo, a bit inspired by Ghost Runner, but also not quite. It's way more limiting and not so freedom inducing like Ghost Runner's attack. You have this gun and do some headshots, some body shots. Yeah, kill those guys, and this drone. Yeah, that's the main gist. You have parkour together with some combat, and I make levels for it, so that's the whole gist. For example, it's not like a very fluid parkour game. It's intentionally like a bit more difficult. Like, if you can see, the jumps are very heavy and you don't have that much air control. Like, I'm sprinting, jumping and holding full back and it doesn't go really anywhere. Or here is when I hold to the side, you don't have that much air control, because I wanted to make a game that feels heavy. Like, you are controlling this very heavy robot, which is really strong, right? You can jump with him and he is still very heavy. So I want to make it feel like that. So you are not that fluid like a human character like Faith in Mirror's Edge or something, and also not like Jack in Ghost Runner, because Only is another kind. He's pretty heavy, but he is strong to pull him up. So yeah, you have this pretty heavy moveset, and it's also very committing. Like, if you do a jump, you really commit to it. You can't really go back. Like with the dash, yes, you can go back to a jump and stuff, but if you jump and don't have the dash, or do the dash too late, bam, you failed. So you have to do this very calculated movements in your head, that you really know what you are executing. You do this wall run right now, and then I do this jump and I know I have to press spacebar to pull me up and such. So I compare it a bit to Dark Souls. Like, Dark Souls, your character is very slow, attack can be very slow and heavy, but it can deal a lot of damage. And here it's the same thing. You have those cool movements and many different movement options, but you really have to use the right ones at the right time, in the right direction, or else you will fail. Like, that's the whole thing. That's an important point when you compare the games to each other. Just those heavy movements, this heavy gameplay. I'm doing this, maybe it seems very fluid right now. You have to remember, I play this game all day, all the time. Every 3 minutes of it I play this game, because, well, I'm developing it, I'm testing it on different systems, on different settings, and I'm playing through the game many times over. So I just know every little thing about it, and it seems very okay. Just got a back shot right there. It feels very fluid, or seems very fluid when I play it, but if you play it, you won't have that satisfying feeling like I have right now, because to have this satisfying feeling, you have to play this game a long time and really learn how to do it. Like this movement is a slide jump. It seems very easy and it's inspired by the Ghost Runner slide jump, but it isn't as easy as it seems, because you have to press the right buttons at the right time or else you will fail. Like this is very fail. So I pressed the spacebar way too early, so you just do a little jump and you don't really go anywhere. So you will be way slower. Maybe you will take those ramps, for example, and I won't take those ramps. I will climb up this, or I will do other movements in other ways, because the game is also very open. You can use a lot of different paths to get to the same goal. It's linear, like you have always the same goal, but you have many different approaches. Like if I, for example, want to get to this platform right there, I can go up here, up here, up here, and then I can do a wall jump off here with this. Then I'm here, like, and I did it. But I can also do this and go up here, then take the jump pad right there and take another jump pad, also do a air dash, bam, I'm here. Or I can do the normie route and just walk up those ramps and yes, I'm there. Yippee. Yeah, that's maybe also an important point to mention about this game. Like the heavy movement and the learning curve is pretty high. So it's like I said, parkour game, but Dark Souls version of it. Let's talk about the world next. Here we can see this is, for example, a typical level for Only Control. It's a cyberpunk dystopia, very dark, very foggy, mysterious, neon lights everywhere. The typical cyberpunk stuff. It's not the prettiest game, I admit, but I think it doesn't have to be the prettiest game ever. So I also hide it, for example, a bit with this retro shader that crunches down the available colors, so there are less colors available, and that gives it where the transition between color isn't that great. But it can also look pretty cool, especially in dark areas and stuff. There it can look pretty cool. Bad example right here. Yes, okay, but as you can see, the world is pretty dark and gruesome and brutal. Like what the fuck, what happened right there? Yes, but I try to put as much detail in the level as possible. Very little details, Easter eggs, and also lore drops and stuff. You can really experience the story not directly around you, but also the story that happened before you came in this world, what really got the world in this state as it really is right now. Like, why is there a big fog around the bottom of all those buildings and skyscrapers? Like, that's not in a normal city. There isn't just a big fog around the bottom area, so you can really find out what all happened here and why everything is like it is right now. I love when games do this, and that's why I also do it. Like around every building you can maybe find a little detail that has a little story. That's the world of Only Control, and I will show you more when we talk about the story of Only Control next. Okay, well, let's talk about the story then next. The story is a pretty difficult part for me, because like I don't want to tell my whole story, because well, my story should be discovered by the player and stuff, and you don't want to spoil or something. So I will just give a brief overview of the story, maybe. Deal? Deal. You are this robot called Only. You have been built by an inventor which builds stuff in his garage in Redfall. Redfall is the city you are in right now, and he gives you the task of receiving the Nexus core from Void City. That's the whole story, that's what will be happening. But on your way you have many different challenges and things to discover, and every little place has his own story to tell, and you will meet a bunch of people, have some NPC interactions in there, which just builds out the world a bit. And yeah, we'll see if you are successful with the mission you have. Yeah, that's what's the story about. But the story in the background is a lot bigger. Like, you just experience a small part of it. You experience maybe 2 days or 1 day of story, because it's a continuous story, just like Half-Life. Like, there's no story cut or something in there. You just go from one place to another all in one motion. There aren't time jumps. There isn't something like that in Only Control. But the story that already happened is very long and very big. Like, I have a really really big lore book where I write everything down, what everything happened and when everything happened and how it exactly happened, exact order of things and stuff. And with that lore book I try to really incorporate that in the game, but not a big wall of text to read if you find a secret or something like that. The world should tell the story and what's happened, and there are some news reports or something which tell you what has happened, or the world itself tells you, or you find it out by looking at details like calendars or like pictures and something like that. And the cyberspaces you visit, like every other level is a cyberspace level, similar to the cyber void levels in Ghost Runner, but yeah, a bit different. Ghost Runner's cyber voids are just some tutorial levels, and my cyberspaces are more complete levels that are also fun, because Ghost Runner's cyber voids are pretty mediocre, I think. So I just want to make cyberspace levels also enjoyable. That's also pretty important for me, like every level should be fun. But let's get back to the story. Like I just explained, I have this big lore book and I want to incorporate that in the world, but maybe have to drop hints outside of the game, because I honestly think I will also do that, like some story hints outside of the game. For example, the soundtrack. Like if you listen to the soundtrack, there is maybe some lore found in the soundtrack or around the soundtrack. Maybe in the future the game will also have a website which will explain some things, and I maybe explain also some things right here, right now, that you maybe don't ever hear somewhere else. So you really have to be on the lookout for the lore, so you can piece it all together. And yes, that's so the whole thing about the story and how I like to tell stories. Like there will be cutscenes in the game, notable the starting cutscene where you power up and stuff, but also in almost every level there's a little cutscene, like 1 or 2 minutes, that just will explain some things, and you just have to have a little narrative in there. You don't just travel from place to place and nothing happens, because that would be boring. So there is something happening, but not that much, and also not that long, because I don't want to have like very long story segments. I just want to have gameplay and cool environments to explore, like this one. This is one of my favorite environments right there, the Dreadfall slums. Yeah, I just love the look of it with the outlines and the lights everywhere. But that's enough rambling right there. Let's get to the actual release date, or the release window. Let's talk about the release window then. The game will be released soon, I can tell you that. The playtesting is very heavily right now, like I playtest every day. I have playtesters and also playtests. Friends and family can try out the game in my private playtesting area with password protection and stuff. They can try it out and download it, but for the public it will also be available soon. What means soon? Soon can mean 2 years or 1 month, and in my case it's 1 month or 2 months. Like it won't be that long anymore, and it will be released, but it also won't be released like immediately after this video. So just have a little more patience. The game will be released soon, announced soon. When the game releases, it's obviously not finished, because like I am working on it for like half a year, and you don't make a game that's a 3D game with a bit of good looks. Like, I don't want to say my game looks that good. It has some areas where it shines and some areas that are not that beautiful by design or by accident, or because by lack of real 3D environment art skills. But yeah, sometimes it looks good, and I can tell you that it takes a lot of time to make all those details happen and stuff, and I want to release it as soon as possible so everybody can play it and I can get feedback as soon as possible. Yes, in 1 or 2 months the game will be released. I can go to the main menu. There you can see how much of the game is already done. Like here's the chapter select, and you have those 3 levels are like done, they are finished. And this 4th level is worked on right now. That's why it also has the same preview screenshot as the first one, because they are still the same. And then you have the cyberspaces, and those 3 are also done, and the 4th and final one hasn't even begun development. So, but I can tell you that I'm working very hard on making those levels fun, and also making those levels different from each other, so every level can be unique. And the game will launch with those 4 levels and 4 cyberspace levels right here, and that will be the first act. And the second act is another 4 levels and another 4 cyberspaces, and that will be the whole game. The cyberspaces correspond to one level, like one cyberspace is part of one level. The whole game will have 8 levels, like I already said. Each level is around 20 minutes if you count everything together. With that you have maybe 1.5 hours of gameplay at the end, maybe 1 hour and 15 minutes for one act, and the second act will be around the same length, so you will have a game which is about 3 hours in length, and I think that's a pretty good length. Let's talk about pricing next. Yes, this is the first game I will charge something for, but obviously not much, because I myself don't like to spend a lot of money on video games, especially right now where every video game gets more expensive as time goes on, and also indie games which are very expensive. Like, I don't want to spend $20 on my pixel art 2D game. That's just a bit too much for me. Why should I spend $20 on a pixel art game? I don't say pixel art is like something bad or something like that, and the game hasn't been put together with care and stuff, but you just have to value the time making and the time of the player and find the right balance between that. Like, I spent very much time with this product, and the player will spend like 3 hours, 2 hours with it, and then he's done, and when he doesn't like it, he doesn't play it ever again. And then he give me $20 for like 2 hours of excitement for a game he probably will never play again. But I have spent much time making this game. But when you make a pixel art 2D platformer, doesn't take that much time. It still takes time and it still takes effort, but it doesn't take that much time. That's just a way to compare those things right now. Then I don't want to spend $20 on it. And with that mindset, I made up the price, and the price will be $5. Yes, only $5. Because I don't want to charge much for the game, even if I spend a lot of time with it. Video game development is my hobby. I have a job next to it, and I don't really plan to go full time right now. A video game development is just for making products, making projects, or completing projects, and moving on to other projects and other coding related stuff after that. So I just make maybe a little money with it, because I just want to learn how I make a game that you can sell. I want to make a real product that costs money, but not a lot. And I also don't want to charge a lot. That's why the price is just $5 for the whole game. It's just Act 1 at first, but with updates Act 2 will be added. Yeah, that's the plan. And in terms of platforms, the game will be released on itch.io first, just like my first game. It will eventually come to Steam and maybe Epic Games, but if it comes to a big online platform, it will be Steam at first. Also maybe GOG, just maybe. I don't really know the process yet of submitting a game to GOG and how much it costs and what you have to fill out and everything. Yeah, but it will be on itch.io for $5 at first. And in terms of platforms you can play on, it will be on Windows and on Linux. That's also a big part of my game right here. I want to make a game for Linux that runs natively on Linux and runs natively good on Linux with no compromises. So if you have a Linux machine, you can play on Linux just the same as on Windows. So yes, you can get the Windows version or the Linux version just as you prefer. And yeah, that's like the whole update video. Only Control it's called. Check out the itch.io page, it's linked in the bottom. You can also subscribe to the itch.io account to get notified when I release the game and new devlogs. You can also check out the website for it, but the website is pretty bad, so don't go on there. The website has been made like 1 year ago or something like that. Don't go there. I don't really know why I even mentioned it right now. Just don't go on the website, go on the itch.io page, there is everything explained. And yes, I think I rambled enough for today. That was the update video, what happened in the last half a year, the new game and everything. Have a great time, subscribe to the itch.io account, subscribe to the YouTube channel if you want to stay up to date. Have a great day, take care everyone, and bye bye.